When a baby elephant suddenly laid down and wouldn't wake up, his mother grew visibly anxious. At first, it seemed like nothing more than a nap. But what unfolded next, right in front of a crowd of zoo visitors, left everyone holding their breath. This emotional moment took place at the Prague Zoo in the Czech Republic, where a young elephant named Max captured hearts from the moment he was born. The Prague Zoo is home to a large enclosure for Indian elephants, giving them space to roam, splash, and play, a true sanctuary far from their endangered habitats in the wild. Among the elephants were Janita, a gentle female, and Mong, her longtime companion. The two elephants shared a special bond, and before long, Janita became pregnant. This was no ordinary pregnancy. Max, the baby elephant, would go on to become the first Indian elephant ever born in the Czech Republic, a symbol of hope for conservation efforts across Europe. Nicknamed the miracle elephant, Max represented more than just a birth. He proved that the elephants felt safe and secure enough to start a new generation. As Max grew, he became a favorite among both zookeepers and visitors. Playful, energetic, and endlessly curious, Max loved to roll in the mud, splash in water, and tap the viewing glass with his tiny trunk, delighting children and adults alike. Despite his growing size, he had the spirit of a toddler, often seen cuddling up to his mom at nap time. But one sunny afternoon, something changed. Max had spent the morning playing in the heat, chasing butterflies and exploring the enclosure. As the sun reached its peak, he suddenly wandered off to a shaded corner and laid down on the ground. At first, no one thought anything of it. Maybe he was just tired from all the excitement. But minutes passed, then more. And Max didn't move. His mother, Janita, grew increasingly worried. She walked over slowly and nudged him gently with her trunk. Still, he didn't get up. Visitors noticed her growing anxiety, and a hush fell over the crowd. The playful sounds of the zoo gave way to a heavy silence as everyone watched. Zookeepers stood by, concerned but hesitant to step in just yet. Then Max began to twitch, small, sudden movements that looked far from playful. Janita started circling him, touching him carefully with her trunk, then pushing a little harder. It was clear she didn't know what was wrong, only that her baby wasn't responding. What made this situation even more unnerving was how the rest of the elephant herd stood back. Usually, elephants rush to help one another in distress, especially when a calf is involved. But this time, they just watched calmly as if they somehow knew something no one else did. Janita wasn't about to give up. In a moment that left everyone stunned, she turned away from Max and walked over toward the crowd, specifically toward the zookeepers standing behind the glass. Then, in a gesture no one expected, she lifted her trunk and waved. It was unmistakable. She was calling for help. Zookeepers didn't hesitate. They quickly entered the enclosure, and to everyone's surprise, Janita stepped aside to let them through. Her maternal instincts were incredible, not only to recognize that Max needed help, but to trust the humans she'd grown familiar with. The staff rushed to Max and began gently pushing him, speaking to him in soft tones. But at first, he remained unresponsive. Tension built. Could he be sick? Hurt? Dehydrated? Then, just as hope was starting to wane, Max jolted awake. To the shock and joy of everyone present, he jumped to his feet and began trotting around like nothing had happened. Zookeepers laughed in relief, and Janita rushed over, wrapping her trunk around him with clear affection. Turns out, Max had simply fallen into a deep, powerful nap, so deep that even his mother couldn't wake him. The rest of the herd? They had known all along. Their calm demeanor had been a quiet reassurance that everything was fine. As the zookeepers exited the enclosure, Janita did something remarkable one more time. She lifted her trunk again, a silent thank you. This unforgettable moment reminded everyone watching of something powerful: a mother's love transcends species. Janita's instincts, her worry, and her eventual trust in the humans around her were nothing short of inspiring. And Max? He went right back to being his playful self, completely unaware that he had just given everyone around him the scare of a lifetime.